for watching my channel again. And I today I'm here with my new script, and it is a IPv6 proxy generator. And the options are very almost most likely the same as IPv4, but with a little bit different little bit things, and the procedure is a little bit different. So it also this script it has two parts. One is the initial configuration, just like the IPv4 script. All you have to do is to just once you downloaded the script, then you have to just do this chmod 777, and then you have this config, and then .x, and then squid.x, and then hit enter. Once it's done, then second step is to run the script using the /configure and hit enter. So it will start configuration, and once it's done, it takes it takes time. Sometimes it takes 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, up to 30 minutes, and this whole time depends on how much RAM you have, as I have earlier mentioned this in my previous IPv4 script. So it's going to take a lot of time, so I'll skip this because I have done this configuration already. But at one place it will ask you for the initial port and the end port. So please just remember that initial there are this proxy server supports 10,000 proxies at a time. See, 10,000 proxies at a time. So all you have to do is, I would recommend use the ports from 50,000 to 60,000. So it will be your initial port will be 50,000, and end port will be 60,000, right? So once it's done, all you have to do is to just do this, run the second script, the actual script, that is with this menu and all the options, /squid, and here is the script. So you have all these options. So first thing, you need to to understand between what is the adding add IPv6 outgoing, and then add IPv6 to interface. Add IPv6 outgoing means that you are going to add the IPs to this proxy server, right? To create the proxies. So you all are aware of IPv6. So it has 8 blocks, and this script considers the first 4 blocks as your network block, and then the second 4 blocks as your host block. So this is how you can generate. So if you have /48, so you can put a 0 over here, right? And then you can, it's up to you. So you can have actually a 0, and then then once you enter, for example, I would like this, I have further divided the other 4 blocks. So it's block A, B, and C and D. So this is how I'm going to start it. I'm going to use the D block, that is the last block of the IPv4, which can actually give me 65,335. See, let me show you. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Okay, just hold on. Let me give you an example. So, for example, this is the IPv4, right? So it is /48. So here it will be starting from 0 to 0.0.0.0 and 0, right? Is it okay, 4 and then 4? Yes, 4 and then 4, right? It will be like the range will be, this will be the starting ip. Obviously this, then it will be 1. This will be actually more, in most of the cases this is gateway, right? And then end ip will be it will be like this, and then this, and then this FFFF, and then FFFF, and then FFF, right? Like this. So each block, has FFFF is equal to 65,535 IPv6 addresses. So one block can have 65,535 IPv6 addresses. So this is how I have divided. This is a block T, this is block C, this is block B, and this is block A, right? So I'm going to use 0, 0, 0, and say I'm going to start from 2, right? Because 1 is the gateway. So for D block, I'm going to say, okay, for which block do you want to generate the IPv addresses? It's up to you if you want to use the IPs for this D block, right? Or B block, or whatever you block select from these A, B, C, or D, right? So I will select D. So this is how it's going to do, right? It's going to create the proxies. It's going to create up to 10,000 proxy addresses, right? And once it's done, it's going to take a little time. So once it's done, then our next step will be to hold on. Okay, you see it's gonna go up to 27 something, right? Because that's the end point of this block. It 10,000 is equal to 2717, I guess. It's the hexadecimal, right? So what we're gonna do is, once it's done, okay, so we will then have to add the same IPs to the interface. So I would like to tell you, you see, you have this 2711 means 10,000 IPv6 addresses have been generated. Now the second option is to add the IPv6 to the interface. And how you're going to do that? Why you need to add the IPs to the IPv6 to the interface? Let me explain. This option one, adding IPv6, is to generate the IPv6 proxies in the proxy server, and then adding those IPv6 to the interface. It means that um, making those IPVs public so that they can be accessed publicly. Got it? Publicly means outside this computer, outside this domain. So you're gonna repeat the same thing as you did in the previous one. So you're gonna do this like you did in the step one, right? So once it's done, then same way like with others, and then this, and for which block you want to generate IPv, and then we say D, and that's it. It's gonna add all these IPs to the interface. And what interface is, it's like here you can see it's adding them, right? It's adding them, automatically adding them over here. So so once they are added, so you will be able to then see the further steps. All right, so let me just skip to this. Oops, it's 10K. All right. Okay. So once it's done, now you can if you want to delete the outgoing IPs, it's up to you. Like sometimes you would just delete the block one and then use the other 10,000 from block two. It's up to you. So you can delete the old ones and then you can delete them also from the interface and then add more. And then fifth option is to add the user. So fifth option is just enter the username, say user 111, and then password 111. That's it. Once the user is done, so it's gonna start the Squid proxy services again. And once it's done, we're gonna see then there is option 6. You can delete, and you can change the password of the existing user. You can display all the users. We'll do that once the service is restarted. So let the service restart. You see, they are still being added to the interface, right? So it's going to obviously it is adding 10,000 IPs, right? 10,000 IPv6 to the interface, right? Okay, so it's done. Now we have added successfully the user. So if you would like to display all the users, just type 8. It will display the user and its password as well, right? You see, you can see the password and the user over here, right? So this is how it's going to do. So let's now, if you want to change the password of this user, so using option 7, you can do that, and you should know the username. It is user 111 user 111, and then enter the new password. It is password, right? And then you hit enter, it will restart. Okay, so once it's restarted, you should be actually able to you know see the updated password of this user. So let's wait for the service to get restarted. Oh, we are almost there. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on. Okay. Now we should be able to see the new password. You see, the new password has been added. It has been updated, right? So now it's the next step is to to export all. If you want to export, the outgoing addresses, right? If you want to export outgoing email, outgoing IPs, if you want to see which IPv6 addresses you already have in your server, they are working, so you can use that. So it's gonna just option 11. Once it's done, it's gonna display this that the file has been exported, and it is where it is located at this here. This is the location, so you can access and download this file and see the existing IPs. Those are in your server, or proxies in other words. And then you have this export all interface IPs, right? If you want to see what interface IPs you have, so they will be again exported to this location. You can download them. And then is the important part of this thing. So if you want to block some domains, some websites for users, all you have to do is to just go to the option number 13 and just type the domain www.domain.com, and this domain.com will be blocked for all the users. And same way, when if you want to unblock same domain, this domain, so just use the option 14. And then is the user blocked user time based. So for example, if you want to block some user for 1 hour, for 2 hours, and this script supports maximum up to 24 hours, right? So let me show you how it actually works. uh, okay, let me show you. Block user, so you have a username, right? So it is remember that this is the time format it supports, right? So it supports 24 hours time. So if you want to block this user, and user is what was the user's name? User 111, right? And you want to block this from 12 p.m. to am to for complete 24 hours. So obviously you're going to do this 59. This is going to be the complete 24. No, it's this is actually going to be the exact 24 hours, right? From 12 p.m. to next 12 p.m. About 1 second less. So this is actually going to block the particular user for that time. And if you want to unblock that, you can do that with this option number 16. Okay, now since you would like to, sometimes you need to generate the proxies in the proper format, like IP and port, and then username and password, rather than creating by yourself manually. All you have to do is to just go over here, option 17, enter the username user 111, and that's it. So it will actually create user proxies in a file that you can actually download. You see over here. Now we have a file. You can download that file. It is called user proxies, and it will be again. It will be generated root uh, at root. So it will be located at the root place d- uh, slash root. So you can actually have all the IPs over here, right? You see, you can see these IPs, right? You can see these IPs. It's the proper format that you basically are looking for. All you have to do is just copy this, and then if you want to test these proxies, let's do that, and let's check if they are working properly. So now we are going to check the proxies. So what I have done is I have just pair, and you should be able to see this. When we test them, we should get this okay ping. So they are working just perfect. So if you want to make sure that you get you get IPs, different IPs, so you should be able to see that, for each different port, you're gonna get different IP. Let me show you. I'm gonna change the port over here, and you will see that the IP will change. And now I am using just random ports because I have 50,000 to 60,000, 10,000 ports. So let's try the 60,000, all right, and let's see what IP do we get. So it's ask us for the password again. So that's it, you see. Okay, sorry, and the port 60,000. No, it's 5,000 and 5,999. Sorry, 50,009, 50,999, 59,000. Okay, sorry. So that's it. Let's check with this. Okay, it's asking for the username and password. And then we should, be good to go. Okay, you see now we get a different IPv6. Same way we're gonna just randomly check 51,001, 1001 and 1, and we should be able to. Then it will ask you for the password. So and then you see you can check it out to here. See, so this is how you get this working. And same as the case over here, you're getting the good ping of over here. So that's it. That's how this that's how my IPv6 script works, and it creates 10,000 proxies at a time. We're gonna exit using option 18. So then, okay, now you see how you see that everything was working just perfect. So what this script is going to do is, you will have the one IPv4 address, and then you can have /64 or /48 IPv6 network, and with multiple ports, like like I showed you in this example, that you can have multiple ports, right, like this one, but with single IPv4 address, like this one, right here, and then here, and then username and password, and then you can have millions of IPv6 outgoing addresses like that. Okay, I hope you like this, and if you are willing to buy this script, just go to the description and find my email address up there and reach me via my email. Thank you very much.